Welcome, my friends, to Walking the Spiral of Truth and Love. I'm Coach Bill Sullivan, creator of the SVMT method of transformation, where we bring together embodied truth, nervous system wisdom, and vibrational practice to create change that's real, not forced. Transformation that's lasting, not temporary. Today we are exploring something that sounds academic at first, but is actually one of the most liberating skills you can develop as a human being. It's called metacognition. Metacognition. It's a simple phrase for a profound experience. Is the moment you realize you're thinking instead of being dragged by thought. And that moment matters because it's where transformation begins. This episode is a bridge between science and spirit, between mindfulness and self-leadership, between the SVMT pillars of truth, which is clear seeing, and love, wise responding. So take a breath. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale nice and slow and allow your shoulders to soften. And I invite you to walk the spiral with me. The spiral of discovering metacognition. As we lean into the study of mindfulness, there's a quiet moment, a miracle that happens. A miracle that happens inside of you. We might miss it, but with practice we start paying attention because it's not too loud. It's the moment that we take a pause. It's a moment that we reflect and think, oh my gosh, I'm stuck in a story. And that realization is an awakening. It's not a place of judgment. It's a place of recognizing I didn't fail. I'm not broken. The mind is doing what the mind is doing. It's narrating a story. It's predicting what's coming next. It's replaying the same old tune. And it tries to protect you with all the theories that it's learned through the years. But then, in the practice, like lighting a candle in a dark room, something wakes up in you. You become the one who can see the story. You become the one that can feel the body. You become the one that embodies the breath. This is the beginning of truth. And truth, real truth, doesn't move you into a space of shame or blame. Truth simply says, here's what's happening now. Truth moves you into awareness. And awareness is the first step of true transformation. Because love within us isn't what we do when we're perfect. Love is what we discover when we're present. And this is the heart of the practice of metacognition. What is it really? And why is it a doorway to freedom? Well, metacognition is often described as cognition about cognition. Thinking about your thoughts. Awareness of your own thinking and the ability to work with them or let them go. But I want to say it in the language of SVMT. Metacognition is the inner witness getting strong enough to hold the mind with clarity and compassion. In research, one of the classic ways to explain metacognition is as two interacting levels. The level where thinking is happening, and the level that can observe and guide that thinking. And within that, researchers often talk about two key movements. First, monitoring. This is the noticing. What is my mind doing right now? And second is choosing. What do I do with what I notice? This practice awakens a curiosity, which is another huge step in the practice of mindfulness. In one well-known framework, this relationship is described as monitoring information flowing upward to the observing system and control flowing downward to guide what's happening next. Now here's the SVMT method translation that truly matters. Monitoring equals truth. Control, guided by compassion, leads to love. Truth says, I see what's happening. And love says, I'm going to respond from curiosity with wisdom. That's the spiral that we're walking in the SVMT. So the question comes up, why is this so hard? Why can't I do this right? Well, the truth is, you're not doing it wrong. If you've ever tried to meditate and discovered your mind sprinting through 5 decades of memories and 3 imaginary arguments, that's not failure. That's being human. That's the way the mind flows if we allow it to. Research on mind wandering shows that people can drift into thoughts without realizing they've drifted until later, when awareness catches up. And researchers have studied this using 2 different methods. Using a probe to catch the mind wandering, like a prompt that catches you mid-drift. But the second, in the mindful perspective, is a self-caught mind wandering, when we notice ourselves. When we begin the practice, we use probes like guided meditations or guided imagery or breath work to catch our thoughts mid-drift. But with practice over time, we can self-catch ourselves when we're wandering. These approaches help distinguish mind wandering with awareness versus without awareness. Well, here's the key point that's deeply hopeful. When you notice you've wandered, that noticing isn't the problem. It's the practice working. The moment we become aware, you're no longer fully hypnotized by the thought. The moment you become aware, you're no longer in the trance of thought. You bring yourself back, and that's metacognition awakening. So it's the noticing of the thoughts that we shouldn't judge as bad. They're actually great. As soon as I notice my thought had wandered, I come back. That's metacognition. That is the key to what we're doing. We don't need to turn this into a neuroscience lecture, though. But one insight is worth naming. Some research suggests that metacognitive accuracy, how well you can evaluate your own performance and confidence, relates to activity in parts of the prefrontal cortex, and can be somewhat distinct from raw task performance. Metacognition introduces humility, discernment, and choice. In the study of mindfulness, and in the study of metacognition, the biggest missing ingredient in most practices is all of this should lead to acceptance. So, to explain that, here's one of my favorite bridges between research and the SVMT method of transformation. A major theory paper in mindfulness research describes mindfulness as involving monitoring present moment experience with an orientation of acceptance. And the theory suggests something important. Monitoring alone can improve certain cognitive outcomes, but acceptance is crucial for reducing emotional reactivity and stress-related effects. That's the SVMT method in scientific clothing, because monitoring without acceptance can become hypervigilance. We're paying too much attention to the thoughts. Awareness without love can be self-criticism. Truth without tenderness can become harshness. But in our practice, we add in acceptance, and that's when love enters. That's when the nervous system softens and the body becomes safer to live in. That's when the mind becomes less of a battleground. That's when we see the truth and we accept the truth. There's also a powerful concept in psychology called decentering, the ability to experience thoughts and feelings as events pass through awareness, rather than absolute truth. One model describes decentering as built from 3 metacognitive processes. First, meta-awareness, where we notice what's happening. Then, disidentification. I am not my thoughts. And third, reduced reactivity. I don't have to obey that thought. And if you've ever had the experience of thinking, I am angry, I am sad, I am anxious, here we discover the truth. We can step away and see that there is a big difference when we change the phrase to say, I'm feeling angry, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling anxious. Then we're telling our mind, I'm not anxiety, I'm not anger, I'm not sadness, I'm feeling it. And that's not just insight, that's transformation. Because what we tell ourselves we believe, what we say our body receives and our nervous system responds. That insight of changing the way we think about things is the spiral turning. This is why it matters. In the SVMT, we don't try to win against the mind. You'll never win. It's your mind. What we do is we befriend the mind. We befriend the mind and we walk alongside it. We train awareness. And we always, one more time, always include the body, because the body and the mind aren't separate. The body sends so many signals to the mind and vice versa. We are one living system. Metacognition is how we stop living inside reflex and start living inside choice. And here's the beautiful truth. You don't ever have to master it. There is no mastery of metacognition. You just have to practice returning. Returning to the breath, returning to the body, returning to sensation, returning to the moment. That return is the path of truth. And the more you return, the more you practice returning, the more you start to see that what you practice grows stronger. So you don't master it, but you do make it stronger. And the kindness we bring with that practice will show up in return as love over and over and over again. Sometimes the mind behaves like it's caught up in some Netflix drama series. It takes one small moment, one look, one tone, one delay, one awkward pause, and suddenly it's producing the next series called Everyone's Mad at Me, Season 36. Metacognition is you walking into the writer's room and saying, okay, that's a beautiful story, but we're here to check ourselves. We're going to take a breath, and we're going to create a reality show. Our reality. And our reality is much different than something you'd see on the television. So let's come back into the truth. And the truth starts in the body. I'd like to invite you to come in on a somatic inquiry and allow the body to tell you the truth first. So with all that running through your mind, I invite you to pause right here, right now. Pause and place a hand on your heart and take in a slow breath through the nose and exhale nice and slow and easy. Notice the shift. Notice where your mind went. And if your mind takes you back to the story, if you really thought that drama series was going to be fun, come back to your breath. Come back to your hand. Come back to your heart space and breathe. And I invite you to gently ask, what is my mind doing right now? Right now. Not a minute ago. Right now. And breathe. And ask yourself, what is my body doing right now? And recognize that because your body often notices the mind before the mind notices itself, there might be some tightness in the jaw, raised shoulders, braced tummy, shallow breath. And instead of making that wrong, just let it be information. And breathe. Breathe and dig deeper into your body. And now ask, if my nervous system could speak in one sentence, what would it say? And notice the response might show up in how your body feels, as warmth or restlessness or calm. If your nervous system could speak in one sentence, one sensation, one color, one image, what would it be? And lean into that thing, that sentence, that thing, that color, and let that be your truth for today. No fixing, just experiencing. And breathe. How do you feel now? Taking a nice comfortable breath and exhale nice and slow. Then I want to invite you into a different perspective. In the SVMT method and Meditate School of Mindfulness and Sound, we teach sound and vibrational therapies. And sound, the practices of sound strengthen metacognition. One reason sound practices can be so transformational is this. Sound gives attention something clean to return to. So every time the mind wanders and we return to sound, you're building the exact muscle of metacognition, noticing and returning. That's why a gong bath or a sound bath or a bowl session or even simple humming can become training in awareness. Because the practice isn't never wander. The practice is wander less unconsciously and return more lovingly. And this is where the pause becomes sacred, because between one wave of sound and the next, there's space. And that's the space where you can feel the body reorganizing, the breath resetting, the heart whispering, awareness widening the door. Sound can open the door as long as you allow some spaciousness in there. And silence lets you walk through it. Think about how that feels. Whether you're a sound practitioner or not, maybe book a sound bath and experience the difference. So now, I invite you to go on this meditation with me. A meditation that I call the SVMT Metacognition Spiral. Truth, love, and return. If you can do this now, just allow yourself to get in a position where you're ready. And if you can't, come back to it later. But once you're ready, allow yourself to settle down, and if it feels safe, allow your eyes to close or soften your gaze, and allow your body to be supported. Allow yourself to let go of all the holding and the kneading, all the gripping, and just relax into the surface beneath you. Feel the points of contact beneath you, and allow gravity to do what it does. Let the earth hold you. And then bring your awareness to the breath. Without any force, without any performance, just feeling your body breathing. Feeling that breath as it flows in and out. And allow the breath to do what it does. Then allow your thoughts and just breathe for a moment. Now, as we go forward, know that thoughts will arise. That's okay, because just like the earth holds you, just like your heart beats inside of you, just as the way your breath flows, your mind thinks. That's what it's meant to do. But when a thought appears now, silently name it as thinking, and then return to the breath. Silently name it, that's a thought, and return to your breath. And just continue to come back to your breath over and over and over again. And in 1 minute, you might have to do this 20, 30, 60 times. It's okay. When another thought appears, that's a plan. That's a memory. That's a worry or an expectation. And just softly think, I'm thinking, and return, and breathe. Notice it again, thinking, and return, and breathe. And as you continue to breathe, and you continue to think, and you continue to be held by the earth, I invite you now to bring a hand to the heart, breathing in and breathing out. And when you inhale, think about how you feel. And when you exhale, silently offer love. Inhale and exhale, silently offering love. And when we weave truth and love together, when you notice the thought, the noticing is the truth, not the thought. So when you breathe in and you think about the thought, that's the truth. And when you return gently and exhale, that's the love. The truth is you're not your thoughts, but you are the thinker of your thoughts. And that's the truth. And when you exhale with this kindness and grace, that's love. Now just continue to breathe and relax and let go of all that doing. And I invite you now to open your imagination and imagine a spiral path in front of you. Imagine that spiral path is wide and welcoming, not a straight line, not a race, a gentle spiral. And breathe. And then imagine just like your breath is flowing, you're walking the spiral. Walking the spiral. And as you inhale and connect to the truth, see what's here. And as you exhale, connect to the love and respond with kindness. Inhale truth. Exhale love. walk the path, walk the spiral. And if a strong thought comes in, if you start to judge yourself or fear yourself or feel pressure, don't wrestle with it. Just practice. A thought is here. Name it. And then exhale with love. And just relax for a moment as you walk the spiral of truth and love. This is the practice. This is the practice. And as you breathe, I wonder if you could say to yourself now, I can witness my mind. I can see my thoughts. Let that land. I can witness my mind. And because you can witness it, you realize you are not that thought. Because you can witness it, you can't be it. Because when you see the thought, you realize you're bigger than the thought. So just think about that. Say to yourself gently, I am the witness. This is the truth. And exhale with love. As you sit here breathing in and out, allow yourself to find some resolution, to allow yourself to just release the judgment and all that stuff, offering yourself a bit of forgiveness for not realizing the truth. But now you're ready. Now you're walking the path of truth and love. Now you're ready to carry this forward with you. And when you're ready, I invite you to come back to your breath again, to know you're always walking that spiral of truth and love now. But now you can do it even better with awareness and acceptance. Actually, with awareness, where you allow your thoughts to just be thoughts, and you come into the acceptance of what that is. So allow yourself to breathe, take in a nice deep breath. Exhale nice and slow and calm and peacefully. Then expand your awareness to feel the room around you, to wiggle your toes and your fingers. And when you're ready, open your eyes and look around you. And just rest in that awareness for a moment. I wonder if you realized yet that metacognition is not about controlling every thought. It's about realizing that you are bigger than the thought, that you are the thinker of the thought, and that releases the control that the thought has over you. This practice is about learning to walk through life with an inner steadiness that says, I can see clearly, I can choose lovingly, and I can return to the heart over and over and over again. This is the practice. This is the realization that truth is not harsh, truth is honest. That love is not weak, love is wisdom. And together, truth and love create a life that is real, real life. Not that imaginary trance life that's living in the past or predicting the future. This life right here. So I thank you for walking this spiral with me today. Breathe and know that you're exactly where you need to be. And if this episode touched something within you, I invite you to share it with somebody you love, someone who might need a little more space between their thoughts and their truth. And if you ever feel called to go deeper into the SVMT method of transformation, recognize this is the foundation of everything that we teach. We bring together embodied practices, vibrational therapy, and the kind of truth that heals without force. So until next time, remember, love is the way, truth is the path. And I'm Coach Bill Sullivan, and it's been my honor to share this journey with you.